What's up, guys? It's new kayak day. Getting ready to head down to Indianapolis to pick up my new Native Titan 12. It'll be my fourth one. So we're going to do a little journey on this one and go through some of the build on it, some of the things I like and dislike, but the reason I've also had four of them. Getting ready to head that way, so we'll see when we get there. All right, guys, we just filled up our friend Russell, the Gladiator. Getting ready to head out. Looks like we're about an hour and 54 minutes away. Going to head over to Moving Water Outfitters. They're going to hook us up today. So we'll see you when we get over there. All right, guys, after 2 hours of driving, finally made it here. We're over here at Moving Water Outfitters, and we're going to go in here, try to get some pictures of the store, look around, go pick up that boat. Well, we just got home with the new Titan 12. Kind of a long drive back, but I want to say a special thanks to Moving Water Outfitters. Those guys were great down there. They helped me get everything on there, get it loaded up for me, and went through all the paperwork we needed to get the trolling motor and stuff like that on it. Getting ready to set it up a little bit. We're going to take a look at it, talk about what we're going to put on it, and kind of go from there. All right, guys, got the boat unloaded, got it in the garage, had time to go look over some of the parts in the boat. Want to go over some of the differences from the year-over-year stuff. Some of the stuff I saw they improved on a lot. So let's go ahead and look at that. Okay, first thing we're going to look at is actually, which most people have probably already seen that. They've actually got the little hook rings on here now for opening and closing these. These things are really hard, especially this one when you're on the water and you're in a hurry. The old ones were just like a little clip. Not like the hole to grab onto, so it actually got a little stuck after you've been using it for a while, and sometimes they're kind of tough. That was a lot better design. Another thing they did, you'll see right here on the handles, they used to have the foam handles on the sides. The front one still has it. As you can see, it's still here. But these are great. The old ones stuff would catch on them and tear them and make them look bad. And these are just more like a bicycle type grip. They even have them on the back. Another thing they did too, and I can't remember, but I don't remember them having this little slot right here. You used to have to kind of put stuff in there at an angle, if I remember right, to get these to work. So that's a nice improvement. Another thing they did, so I had a 2000 model, or not 2000, sorry, a 2020 model. This was a flat surface right here, and this wasn't very high. Now they raised that seat up, I think, in 2020. Just like this one, so you had to reach down on the old one. Another thing that was a problem back in 2020 was these handles. I went through two of these where it just ripped the gears right off that. I think they did something different on the plastic. I've seen some other guys out there talk about this, that they've got some new stuff out there for that, so they're a little bit better. They definitely put better Spectra line on here. The old line they had was not near as good as this. They did do some rerouting on this and some difference here. It still don't look like it's going to turn as much as if you did like a Burley Pro upgrade. Therefore, that's kind of what we're doing. Some of the upgrades we're going to do, just to make sure we don't have problems with that handle, we are doing the Burley Pro upgraded handle. This is going to be quite a bit taller, and you're going to get a metal gear at the bottom so that doesn't strip out. We're also going to do a Burley Pro upgrade for the max steering on the back, which comes with a new wheel that goes inside here, and then the big wheel in the back. So this should really help the steering to really get that big turning you want. Probably my favorite thing is the rudder. It don't look much different on this part, but they put a metal part through here, and this is a huge upgrade. This piece right here was a real problem on all my old ones. I think I've had an 18, a 19, and a 20. And they all use like a little neoprene looking thing, and every one of them leaked a little bit. This is a lot beefier, a lot more solid. I think that's going to be really good. And this new metal piece right here is quite a bit better. We'll be going through some different things while we do some changes on this boat. We are going to put on the sidekick landing gear. Going to do some installs on that. We're going to go through the build on the propel drive. Always keep one of these in the boat. Never, especially when you're fishing in shallow waters and stuff, it seems like I always find rocks and find ways to break stuff. So another thing to keep out for, watch out for the future videos. I also got this new mount. This is from Native. They are selling these. And this is for the trolling motor mount that'll go right here on the front of the boat. I'm gonna get the quick release, do an XI3, spot lock on there. But that'll be a future video, the install on this, and that will be future when we do the wiring and stuff. So definitely stay tuned for the future video on that. Like what I was talking about earlier, when we first started the video, I've had 4 of these boats. Yeah, I've had a bunch of them. I don't know why I keep going away from them. But I'm kind of like everybody else. I like to try stuff new. I started with one of these, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I went to Hobie. I've had a Pro Angler 14 360. Ran through some Old Town Topwater 120 PDLs and the Sportsman 120 PDL. Had quite a few paddle kayaks. Had the Bonafide 127. Had the Slayer XC. I went through some. Had a Liska, Jackson Liska, and a couple other paddle boats. Actually, a really good one also if you like paddle boats for a good price. Man, those Jackson Bites are hard to beat also. Those great boats. But I keep going back to this boat. The Hobie was an awesome boat. I'm a big guy. Back when I was running the Hobie, and I had these before, at one point I was about 325 pounds. And I've lost a lot of weight since then, so I'm only about 275 right now. But I can say some things about these boats when you get heavy. So the heavy guys, this will be some good information for you. That's where this boat really shines. 325 pounds, 300 pounds, somewhere around there. This boat is a barge. You can stand up in it. It's easy to get up in. It's not hard to get out of the seat. And you can handle some big water with it. That was kind of the thing about the Hobie. I'm sure the guys that are a lot smaller don't have this problem as much, but the primary stability on the Hobie rolls a lot. So when you're a bigger guy, it really rolls over to the side a little bit more. It's pretty stable. But it just doesn't have the platform. If you like more of that bass boat type feeling, like you're on the front of a bass boat, man, you can't hardly beat a Titan. That's kind of where it's at. And, I like my 360, but I decided I'm going to run a motor. So if I'm going to be standing up running a trolling motor all the time, what better platform to be on than on a Titan? You can't beat it. With all the upgrades over the last couple of years, the higher seat made a big difference. You can just stand right up. You can pop up. Makes it a lot better. It's super comfortable. Don't get me wrong. Every boat's got its little problems and corks and stuff like that. The Titan's no different. The seat makes a little bit of noise when you move around in it. But I've caught my biggest fish out of a Titan. They're quiet. Instant reverse. I know that's everybody talks about instant reverse, but when you're on a 360 and you gotta reach over there and grab that handle and turn it, when you're trying to fight fish or move or whatever you're doing, that takes time. It takes away from what you're doing. It's a lot easier when you can hit the pedals and just go in reverse real quick and get out of the way. So, but they are great boats. I love how stiff they are. The hull's really stiff, so when you stand up in the middle of the boat, it just doesn't move. They've got that extra lining on the inside of them. I guess it's from when they build them, the forming material or whatever, but it makes that boat very rigid and very stiff. So another thing that's good about them I like is in the heat. When I'm fishing out in Arkansas or Oklahoma or something like that in the middle of summertime, and it gets hot. You put boats on any kind of surface, they start bending and stuff like that. And I know I was always worried about my Hobie. When you go spend almost $6,000 on a boat, you don't want to see dents and stuff in your plastic. That's one thing about these Titans. I can say I've never seen one start warping or moving. So they're just really structurally sound, and they're really good boats. Really can't say enough about them. Like I said, I'm not sponsored or anything. I just like them. That's why I keep going back to them. So, hit me up with questions on them. I've gone through about everything you can think about with the Titan. I'll be rigging this thing out in the future. Be doing some of the stuff here shortly. Probably doing some, I'll probably run some lights on it. Gonna be doing a new fish finder. I think I'll have an install on that probably next week. Gonna run the Garmin 93 SV. We'll start off just running the side imaging and down imaging stuff. Maybe in the future we'll do some live scope and play around with that. But probably try to do some of that next week. I'm gonna try to do that Burley Pro install. I know there's a lot of videos already on that, so I might do an install video on it. If not, I'll show you the completed product. But it's a great boat. Can't think of a better thing to fish out of this year. Okay, guys, not going into this in too detail, but this is the propel drive once I pulled it all out of the box. Not much to it. I mean, they did upgrade the pedals. I think they did that actually in 2020. But you can put the studs on there. It comes with all these studs. I like to go barefooted sometimes, so not real comfortable. You can always do one side of each, though, if you want to do studs on one side and flat on the other. So you can kind of have the best of both worlds. I found these boats pedal so easy, you don't really need them on there. Basically, the biggest thing to watch out for, you got a left and right here. You'll see it right there on the side. It says L, 155L. I'm guessing that 155 is the length, but and that's R. So just make sure you put the right and left on the right side. Not much else to it. Just make sure you don't over torque them. I read the specs on it. I think it's 35 inch-pounds or 4 Newton meters. Got my Newton meter inch right there. Gonna put it together now. Here it is all installed, got the pedal drive on. And what I did was, I actually put the boat out between 2 tables. Therefore, I could open up the hatch, drop it down, and get everything completely centered. One thing on these boats, if you don't get them really centered, not the pedals, but the crank arms will actually, these pieces right here, the crank arms will actually hit right here or right here on this side. So I think they fixed some of that though when they used to be a straighter crank arm back in the day. These are more bent, but never hurts to make sure everything's completely straight up and not hitting anything before you go to the water. Just want to say thanks again, guys, for watching this video. I hope it was informative. Hope you got some stuff out of it. Like I said, leave some comments. I'll be happy to answer questions. Going to have some more videos coming out here shortly. I'll get this thing rigged up and on the water. I'm in Indiana right now, so it's cold. Lakes are frozen over. It might be a month before it gets on the water, so we'll have some time to play around with it and add some stuff to it. So we'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks. Make sure, if you could, hit that thumbs up if you liked it, like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future.